Okay, hi. Oh, one screen went totally black. Okay, we got two new characters to learn about and make on the sheets. We've been talking about it beforehand. Everybody want to introduce themselves? You want to start right there, our future captain?
Hi! Hi. I'm at a
You're-
loss for what to say currently.
What is your name? What do you do?
My name is Leo.
Hi, Leo.
It's
Okay,
nice to
so
meet you all.
yeah, well, we're totally awesome here. Anyways,
100%.
So much preparation.
indeed. Okay, so Leo and Brock, you decided to join us as well.
Yeah, I have. Hi, I'm Brock. I stream on Twitch as Saint Guard, and I did my character commissioning last week. I am playing a programmer/pilot named Sequoia.
Awesome. And finally, and not least,
That'd be Derek.
hi Derek.
Yeah, sorry for being late, guys. I just it was a rough day at work.
One of those days.
Yep.
Awesome. And cool. Okay, so we were just talking about character creation. So,
Yeah, I was listening to you guys as I was driving home. Sorry about that. I couldn't hit the mute button fast enough.
No worries. Okay, so did you grab the copy of the book, Derek?
No, I did not. Where we got that?
Okay, so the one of the things that we were discussing, because normally what you do is you do a bunch of setting creation where you come up with like the three big societies that are important to us as players that were involved in the exploration wars. So the exploration wars recently ended, and they were a massive war that ran for 500 years across the entire quadrant, and they happened for whatever reason that we decide when we make this. So there were three groups, three massive societies with many factions in each of them that are now existing because of that war. So
Sure.
Old Gold, back during the Golden Age, ran everything, and then the war started, and now their position is different. So we make up a society for them because that's a pretty important group, right? And they're called. They're listed as the Old Gold, and for us, they're called the Tarnished Interregnum. That's what they're called now. Then the Soul, the group that came out of Soul, i.e. humans and the stuff, whatever we decided, are now the Independent Peoples of Soul. When they entered, as you can see, if you look at the stuff, they were underneath the key societies on the key society sheet. They were a lot less. They were kind of a gold watch capitalist group with competing nations, but they now kind of dropped to more of an anarchistic kind of every world is represented in a council that kind of ineffectually runs things. And then finally, the last society is the Articulum of Diomedes. They were the Lateral Society, and they were subjected by Old Gold to basically run their bureaucracy. And so as the war furthered on, they took over. And they are now the current Cardinal Society.
Okay.
Oop, we just lost one. And he's back. Okay.
Well,
Cameras
that
are
is correct.
flickering all over the place today.
I'm trying to get that downloaded right now. Give me a sec. But yeah, I hear you.
Hi.
He's
Bye.
back. Okay, so they're good. That didn't cause you to change places. Okay, so out of each of those matters way more to you guys are the factions, and then every society and every faction has multiple species in it. So that's all we need to know about that stuff that you would have discovered if you were there for that part of commissioning, as we call it. Next, you would do ship commissioning, where you came up with what your ship was like, and the ship that was come up with is a scout ship called the FRS Auspicious, which has its own character sheet that you can all access.
Okay.
And each of you has your own character sheet. Now, I have to give one to you because you hadn't actually joined the game, so...
Yeah, sorry. Let me get in there. Where's that
Yes.
link to the Roll20? You should have sent me a invite, right?
I sent you multiple invites, and there's a link in Discord. Anyways.
Gotcha. I will be right there.
Cool. Okay, so commissioning starts like this. During that discussion, we came up with the fact that Cyberwolf here, Leo, wants to play the captain. Are you cool with that, Derek?
Oh, completely.
Okay.
I am the captain.
Okay,
As long as I get to play the janitor. No.
done.
Consensus.
There's consensus. Okay, so currently, you guys will basically be showing up, and I have some ideas for the fun of this. And Audie's character is going to have no idea what happened, and all of a sudden, you guys are there, and the rest of his crew's gone. So we're going to have fun with that. So he's playing a mechanic gunner. And Sequoia here is a pilot programmer. Okay, so what the hell does that all mean? Let's get into that. So if you go to page 27 of the book, under crew commissioning, there's a bunch of stuff that lists things. But the main thing is there are 3 departments for your skills. And in each department, you have a ship. There is different stations. And you, as a player, as a character, your crew member gets 2 stations in these departments. So you can choose 2 in operations, or 1 in comms, and 1 in engineering, or whatever.
Okay.
And there's certain ship stations that are really good to have at least 1 of each. Sensor analyst, pilot, shield, engineer, and gunner. So we already have a gunner, and we have a pilot on that list. So the stations are comms, communications. These are really good for people who like to talk, and for people who want to be captain, and people who think they should be captain but aren't. That sort of flavor here. So they are linguist, quartermaster, researcher, linguistics officer, and steward. And they have an expertise in each of the social skills in that order. Likewise, in operations, there's recon, marine, sensor analyst, surveyor, and pilot. They have an expertise in each of the skills in their order. So athletics, fitness, perception, and geosciences, which is, if you like to be on planets, useful. And piloting. Having pilot, I don't know, who would have guessed. Then finally, on our engineering stations, we have doctor, shield engineer, programmer, gunner, and mechanic. These skills are a little harder to understand. We got biosciences, that's pretty cut and dry. That includes medicine and genetic engineering and things like harvesting plants, which can be useful for sampling things. Field dynamics is manipulating the primary big technology, which is called 0-point technology, which is basically manipulating space-time to create shields, blasters, fold space, all that sort of stuff. In field dynamics, you manipulate a field. So if you want to control shields or do astronavigation, that's a field dynamics test, which is a shield engineer's job. Programmer, they do inscription, which is actually inscribing code onto space-time to create these things. Gunner, that sounds shooty because it can be. Pulse projection. Pulse projection basically makes a knot in space-time, hits things with it, changes gravity or disrupts it, or whatever. And then mechanic. If you go back to Earth, you're a freaking god because you know all the archaic technologies, but you're also going to be good at fixing doors, armor, building stuff, other mechanical kind of things. So everybody needs to choose 2 stations, and Leo here was a little bit ahead of this curve on this front. So, what were your stations again, Leo?
My stations were steward and recon.
Okay. So he wants to be able to stab things with his multi-tool, which is a device kind of wraps around your hand, kind of like a gun, but it can create a knot that's really, really long and complex, almost like a helix. It can be used like a blade, and then you move it around there. So it looked really weird to most people. It'd be like if you're fencing, but you could, with your mind, move where the blade was on your weapon. Or you can shoot pulses out of it that can hurt people. So gunners tend to do that. Well, like your athletics recon character would be good at using the sword aspect of it. Or you can also use it for basically tractoring things by changing their gravity and moving them around. Okay, and Steward is our Sophantology, which Sophants are people, so he's good at talking to individual people. Cool.
Okay.
So, we'll go through what you get with that, and then we'll jump to our other player here. So, let's start with... Oh, you want to start with which one first?
Start with me, sorry.
Recon. Or did you want to start with Steward?
Steward, I'll start with Steward.
It's first in the group, so it's easier. Okay, so you get expertise in Sophantology. So, what the hell does that mean? Well, so you see your Sophantology skill. You got 3 dice. The first die is your untrained die. The second die is your trained die. And the third die is your expertise die. So as you have expertise in it, you get the 3 dice. Okay, so along with that, you get 2 specialties of your choice. I notice you've already pressed Insight, probably by mistake.
That was an mistake, yeah.
So you get 2 of these. I can reduce Insight unless you want it. So Insight is the ability to understand what people are thinking and doing. Performance is lying, acting, all that sort of stuff. And Persuasion is convincing people of things.
I feel like I'd rather go with Performance and Persuasion, to be honest.
Okay, I will remove this. So the way you do this is you basically go to your attributes. I'm going to change how this works later, but you can just basically remove the thing. So...
Oh yeah, I see it.
Did you already do this? When did you get the insight? Oh, long ago. Okay.
I just got rid of that.
I know, it's just a little bit irritating, but for now, it's the way it works. Okay, cool. So, you also get 1 trained skill for this, which is Culture. So you get up to the trained die on Culture, and you get 1 specialty skill. So, Anthropology, that's all about knowing about people and stuff. History, that's knowing about the past. And Linguistics, all about understanding and knowing languages. To learn a language, you have to completely successful... There's like different levels of success in the game. You have to do a complete successful task, talking to someone, and then you know the language and you put it on your sheet.
Okay.
So, put Culture at trained. So choose the trained die. That's the second die. We're giving you Culture. These are your... If you notice on the chart, it says your expertise is Sophantology and your trained skills Culture. I'm not sure what you're looking at, man.
Neither am I, to be completely honest.
Okay, so you're looking... If you're looking at the book, then you will see that your trained skill as a steward is Culture.
Okay.
So on your character sheet, you want to do this, and then choose 1 specialty in Culture.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, I see it now. Linguistics.
Everybody loves the linguistics. Okay, cool. And then we are going to choose a tool. You get 2 tools. Okay, so you have all the tools. What you're getting for these is mods. So as a steward, you can add capacity to your reactor. You can add one mod to your link, or you can add to your biochem kit. You're like, what are you talking about? Okay.
I can see.
If you look under your reactor, so what your reactor does is it gives you charges that you can use to activate different mods on your tools. Because normally, say if you want to shoot somebody with your multi-tool, or stab somebody in your case, probably, you can just use it to do that. You'll get +2 damage, its range is a zone, that sort of thing. But if you want to get more dice, or do more damage, you have to spend a charge from your reactor. And then every time you crit, or you do a desperate action, or at the beginning of every session, you can gain more charge.
Okay.
So, you can increase the capacity so you can charge more, because it starts at 3, and you can overcharge by 1, but when you have an overcharge, you have to use it right away. It's like a, hey, you have to do this next round, kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
So, you can increase the capacity of that if you want, which is pretty good, but not super necessary at the beginning of the game. You also can do a link. So your link down here, you got your comm browser. That's about talking to people, going on the internet, that sort of thing. Crash, that's about doing more damage in data flow hacking. Development kit, that's about getting more dice to do programming kind of stuff or hack people. And hardening, which is about defending yourself if you're attacked on the internet.
Okay.
So those are the 3 tools. You get 2 mods in those 3 tools.
From Reactor, Link, and Biochem.
Yeah. Oh, Biochem kit. You got your med tool, your potency, which basically means that if you're, say, attacking a virus or trying to knock somebody out or those sorts of things, you'll do more damage. It starts at 1 damage because it's bioengineering. It's biotech tool, so they do less damage. Sampler means if you're taking a sample off a planet or trying to get evidence or something, you're going to get more dice. And incubator is if you're making something.
Okay.
So basically you're going to mark 2 dice in this. For this, it's better to do high in one thing in a lot of ways because you spend 1 charge for however many dice are listed.
Okay. So could you remind me what comm browser does again?
If you want to communicate with people or research or that sort of thing.
I think probably comm.
I think the trunk going off to Britain is problematic.
Hi! Again.
I told you not to use the Wi-Fi from the Starbucks downstairs.
Sorry. I think I'd use comm browser.
Yep. So mark 2 of them, whatever you want. So you can mark 1 in comm browser and 1 in med tool. You can mark both in 1 if you want. It's up to you.
I'll go 2 in comm browser.
Okay. It's gonna be good at the researching. Okay, so that's it. We can do yours next, or we can go to Derek.
Go to Derek.
Okay,
I feel
Derek.
like I've been hogging all the attention.
Let's show a spotlight on you. So you can also just go do that if you want. Now that you kind of know how it works, you can just look at it for recon and run through that, or we can help you. Okay, can you access your character sheet, Derek?
Yeah, I believe so.
Excellent. Okay, so you need to choose. Let's see if I wrote. Oh, by the way, Leo, you needed to choose the department next to the character. So the first little thing allows you to choose which department it is. I chose those for you. You'll see the change. Okay, so you need to decide what stations you want and what departments you want to be in. So we currently have somebody who has ops and comms, who is the ship's captain. He's got steward and recon, which is athletics, melee, running, jumping, that sort of thing. We have a pilot programmer, a ops engineer, and then we have Adi, who is a engineer, mechanic, gunner.
Okay.
So the things that we don't have that are really quite important for ship is a sensor analyst or shield engineer. You could do both, but it's going to be a bit hard in combat. But I think that's fine. Man, Leo's camera keeps going.
So basically, I'd either go for both of those and be support in a way, or I'm going to have to pick one class that I'd actually be able to do in combat.
Combat's not the hugest thing in this game, but field dynamics is pretty good at combat. You can make yourself decent at combat without taking expertise in pulse projection or athletics pretty easily still. So, because you do get a bunch of points at the end.
Okay. So what you're saying is we need the shield engineer and the sensor analyst.
I'm saying those 2 things are generally useful, and you should just try not to be something someone else already is, because that's fun in some situations, but not all. Because if you want to have, I don't know, if you want to be the economist, you can. If you want to be fitness or geosciences, also super useful.
Pretty much whatever makes it, round off the group well. I'm good to go either way.
Okay, so you wanted to do this? You're going to go... okay, so if you click on the first on the department and choose the department that sensor analyst is in, which is perception, which is operations.
Mm-hmm.
So choose ops station there. And the second one is an engineer.
Got it.
Okay, cool. So let's do sensor analyst first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, page 30 in the book. Sensor analyst, you get perception as an expertise. So choose the 3 dice on the expertise on next to the perception skill.
Science. Okay.
Do you see perception on your character sheet?
I'm looking for it.
It's in operations. They're all in each of their departments. So under operations, it's second to the
There it
bottom
is.
right above pilot.
3, right?
Yeah, because you got your untrained, trained, and then expertise. This is your expertise. You are good at this sort of thing. This is your responsibility on board ship. Okay, and then you get 2 specialties in that area.
Okay.
So you can choose like survey, which is searching large areas or doing a base kind of survey of things. Alertness, which is like your passive perception. Analysis, which is like in-depth analysis, trying to look. Like if you scan an area in space, you can see the ships moving around. If you scan an individual ship, you can try to figure out where the people are on it. That would be analysis.
So you can pick 2 and you put the 1 die on them?
You put 1 die in 2 of them, yes. You can put them in the same one if you want, but it's better to have a broad on the skills.
So
Okay.
alertness and analysis should be good.
Awesome. Okay, so finally, sensor analyst, you get to choose 2 mods in reactor, scanner, or shields.
Okay.
So you can put them in separate places or the same place. It's up to you. So shields, the mods for that are kinetic deflector. Get hit by a rock, it's good to have kinetic deflector. Energy dissipator, if you get hit by a blaster or laser or radiation, it's good to have energy dissipator. Holoprojector, you want to make fancy pictures or go stealth, holoprojectors are useful. Multi-field, that's good if you want to expand your shields beyond just you or beyond just your ship. And then what are the other ones we said? Reactor, you can increase your capacity. That's the only thing you can really do there. Or scanner. This is a thing that you're going to use a lot of as the sensor officer. You got your survey sensor, which analyzes areas. Depth analyzer, which is good if you're analyzing a single thing. Multiple region and range compensator. Multiple region is if you want to do AoE scans of a larger area, you'll get this die for this. Range compensator if you want to scan further away. You can only use those dice in those situations though. So, and you can use multiples. So if you're doing a survey for multiple regions, you can use both survey sensor and multiple region kind of thing. Okay. So just decide to put 2 dice in whichever ones you want. Oh, everything in the scanner. Cool. Because you could have put 1 in the shield instead if you wanted. Just so you know. Okay. I think.
Okay. Well, how do I?
Oh, you have to go to the attributes thing. Which one do you want to remove?
The multi-region. I'll put 1 in the shields, I guess.
It hasn't updated yet. It's not listing. That's real weird.
I have no idea what just happened. My camera just died. My Discord just died specifically. So
that is really weird.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, same thing keeps happening to me.
Can you? I don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, Discord's, or it seems like Roll20 is kind of being funny too. Okay, so you wanted to get rid of your scanner multi-region?
Yes. And
Okay.
grab one of
There
the
you go.
shield mods. Perfect. Thank you. We'll go with energy disruptor.
Okay. So let's just do you right away on the shields, then we'll go back to our fine feathered friend over there. Okay, so shield engineer. Your expertise is in field dynamics. So put your 3 dice in that.
Okay.
And then you get 2 specialties in that area, in that skill. So holography, that's good for stealth or making pictures or doing all sorts of things like that. Shield mechanics, that's defense. And astronavigation, that's good for folding space. So you actually work with the pilot to fly the ship.
Okay.
And you get 2 in that general area. So you can put 1 in shield mechanics now, or 1 in holography, or another in astronavigation if you want, but it might be a little overdoing it.
Go with some stealth. Why not?
Okie dokie. Okay, so next you get a trained skill in inscription. So you get inscription at 2 dice. And then you're going to get 1 specialty in inscription. Inscription's right below, like 2 below field dynamics.
There we go. And then I get 2 in...
You get 1 specialty.
1.
Yes.
Okay. Hack, trace, code.
Okay, hacking.
Hack.
Tracing things is tracing. You know what we didn't do? I don't think we actually did your trained skill for
No, we did not.
operations. Okay, that's fine. It's not a big deal. We'll go back. Okay, so your trained skill for sensor analyst is geosciences.
Okay.
So you get
Yeah,
that,
1 in
and
that.
then you get 1 in that. So architecture, buildings, planetology, planets, mining is actually under the Earth or inside asteroids and that sort of thing. So if you want to know about rocks or mine something, it's mining. If you actually want to know how to find your way around on a planet or deal with planet stuff, it's planetology. Although it could be agriculture if you want to know about biomes, but it's in a different scale.
Okay.
So you just get 1 of those.
Let's go with mining.
Okie dokie. Okay, Leo,
Hi.
your second station.
Yeah.
Did we do your trained skill? We didn't do your trained skill either.
Nope.
We just did sophentology. Okay. All the way back to the top. Okay, steward. Your trained skill was culture. Yes, we did.
Oh no, yeah, we have done that.
We did that. And did you got all your tools? I don't know if we actually gave Derek his tools either, did we?
Nope.
So you get 2 tools, Derek, in for shield engineering: reactor, shield, or scanner. So you might want to take some in shield since you're also the shield mechanic. But you know how that works. Okay, so let's do recon. So recon, your expertise is in athletics, so take your expertise dice in that. Leo?
Me, sorry. Sorry, I still thought you were talking to Derek.
Yep, that's
My
fine.
mistake.
So you were doing your recon, which is you get expertise in athletics.
Okay, doke. Yeah.
And then
Is
you
that
get 2 specialties under that.
Is that 2 dice? Yeah.
Yep, 3. It's your
Oh, 3.
expertise.
Yeah.
You get
Okay.
1 expertise per station.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get 2 specialty dice in that. So ledger domain, that's like sleight of hands and you doing like little actions. Melee, that's stabbing people and that sort of thing. Parkour, that's running and jumping.
I'll go for ledger domain and melee.
Oakley dokley. Okay, so finally you get field dynamics as trained.
Okay.
That's in engineering, the second skill right below biosciences.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then you get 1 specialty.
Out of holography.
Holography is good for stealth and for making holograms and dealing with holograms in various ways. Shield mechanics is good for defense, and astronavigation is good for folding space.
Let's go for holography.
Oakley dokley. And finally, you get 2 mods on multi-tool, scanner, or shields. So your multi-tool is your... In your particular case, you would use it like a sword a lot. If you want to do more damage with said sword, it would be Charged Pulse. If you want to hit people easier with said sword, it would be Disruptor Targeter. If you want to use that instead to lift things at a distance, that's Tractor Lifter. And if you want to use it as a tool to pull out screws or do mechanics, it would be the Utility Manipulator. And
I'll go with Charge Pulse.
Okay.
So 2 in that, yeah?
You can take 2 in any way you want, but if you want to concentrate, yes, you can put 2 there.
Yeah, 2 on that.
Okay, cool. Okay, next, for both of you, let's see if we can do this at the same time. Wartime Faction. Okay, so we have factions made. You can also make your own faction, if you wish. So, which is why the first part is Fellowship, because you can decide whether or not you're going to be in the same faction and society as someone else, or in a different faction but the same society as someone else, or in a completely different one in every way. And the reason this matters is because if you guys decided you're from the same faction or the same society, during the creation, you guys would decide a lot of things together. That's the only reason this matters. You don't even write this on the sheet. So,
okay.
The faction list is on the tabletop behind you. So the faction list that we currently have is XMI, which is also your patron faction. So this is your wartime faction. These are the people you worked for, or whatever they're called now, the evolution of whoever you were with during the war. So XMI is a big corporation that makes gates and does colonization and a variety of other corporate things. Marquita Rue is a People's Revolutionary group that the crew was actually recently dealing with as bad guys. The 8th Avatar is Hacker Mafia. The Seekers of Return is a church that's looking for the leader that can come and bring the Tarnished Aeternum back to power. Then the House of Luria is the actual house that's in charge of the sector that you guys are operating in. They pretty much run everything, and they're in charge of colonizing this and 2 other sectors. And then the House Sosprita is a university and learning research group. It's a ducal house in charge of that sort of activity. So you can choose one of those, or if nothing's good, you can propose something and we can figure it out. Any ideas?
I actually have one. In the Society of the Articularium of Diomedes,
yeah.
Could there be a faction around manipulation and
the House Sosprita is pretty manipulative. They're a think tank and intelligence network group. They're a university, but
I mean, like,
nobody's playing them, so you can make them as manipulative as you like.
I mean, more like specifically as like manipulating the information that goes to the people.
Oh, you want a media group?
Yeah.
Okay. We have one media group right now, which is the 8th Avatar, which is what Brock works for. But if you want one within there, we can also make one of those up. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your concept for it?
More of a...
Like a news network or something? Or?
Yeah, more of like a news network that sort of manipulates the people that watch it.
So, propaganda network?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
Okay, so now the only thing we have to do is we do have to make this fit the Articularium of Diomedes. So that means that they are a house. So we need a house name for them. So we were going with kind of Greek kind of things. So if you want to look up a Greek word for like eye or something interesting that fits that, and I will write down the concept for you.
Yeah. They sound like a Ministry of Culture or a Ministry of Information or something like that, but it's a like noble house, so.
Yeah, exactly. The House of Suspirita is a little bit like this, which is why I was suggesting them. So, are you just thinking they're just an information network? What? Because they're going to be a group that are going to want to do things. What do they want in this sector? Like, how does that affect it? So I'm having a hard time kind of getting the complete concept here.
They would want to control the information and the way it's presented to the people. So, for example, if there was a new discovery, they'd want to try and get there first, and then be the first ones to report it in the way that they want to. That's my concept, anyway.
Okay. Okay. So the issue I'm having is that's pretty much House Suspirita.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure.
I can rewrite it a little bit, but that is kind of what they did. They just called it. They're just set up as a university. I can switch them to a media organization because nobody's used them yet for anything. Sure. They're just sitting in the background. So if you'd rather but I set them up as a university because that's how they kind of frame themselves.
Be a media university.
Okay, so I'm gonna go.
Basically, they say they're a university, but really they're media.
Worse. No, they just like release like white papers and stuff that are actually that people just take as news because they're like, oh yeah, those guys, we trust them.
Oh, they're from a university, you know.
Exactly. Super legit. Most trusted news you'll get in the entire sector. It's all good. It's not like I work for an organization that definitely would hate all of that.
No, I like to make things awkward for you. Especially if your character's already got that bit of resentment about you being captain and not him. Kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's already resentful that she's here because of the patron organization, so being resentful towards more people is not an issue for her.
Awesome. So I rewrote this a little bit. House of Information Management, Learning, Research, Developers, manage the university's intelligence network. So they're a little bit further back. They don't actually necessarily run, like, the news, but they basically are all about chasing down the information. Does that work for you?
That is perfectly fine.
So they're activists, which means they have a particular idea. Their headquarters is a Socratic University campus in quite close to the core, in New Titan, which is actually where you guys were last at. It means you're probably going to have a good chance of getting their sectoral language as a Regelian, and it has some influence information that you probably don't care about. So record House of Suspirita and put down university as your
already done
archetype. Okay, so for this, it means you get to be trained in each of the university things. So culture, if you already have it, then you don't get it, but you'll get a new point later, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
You get a train and specialty in each of those. So you get a training or specialty, and then specialty in culture. So take another culture specialty.
Anthropology.
And then geosciences, you get that trained, and if it's already trained, that's fine. This happens, certain characters have it like just a free form at the end almost. And then you get a specialty in geosciences. I'm not looking at your sheet, so I don't know what you're doing.
Me neither.
So geosciences. So you get that at trained, so move, that's underneath fitness.
Yeah. And
then you get one specialty in that. So architecture, planetology, or mining.
Could you explain it to me?
Architecture, buildings, space stations, things that are constructed. Planetology, planets, asteroids, that sort of thing. Mining, the stuff inside them.
Okay.
And the processing of materials.
Going for planetology.
Okay, and then finally you get mechatronics. So you get training in mechatronics.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can take mechanics, which are like, hey, I'm going to fuck with a door or hydraulics or something. Material sciences, I'm going to deal with the actual materials things are made out of, like siding or building, that sort of thing. And archaic technology is ancient stuff. I'm going to fix a gasoline car or a ancient electronic computer.
Okay, I'll go for mechanics.
Okay. Now, Dracnado,
¿Qué pasa?
do you have any ideas?
As
Your
far as
work
faction
on
go?
Yeah.
I was looking at the Marcus de Route.
Oh, the Marquita route. Yes, they were
Yeah, there we go.
kind of being treated as the bad guys in the last contract.
Gotcha.
Just so you know that you might get some interesting reaction from Audi if you show up as ex Marquita route. They are now a People's Revolutionary Group. You can decide what they were like before and during the war. Maybe they were much stronger. And yeah, they're basically a revolutionary movement.
Okay. And what ones or what one is it's Brock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What one are you in?
I'm a member of the 8th Avatar. They are...
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You can be of the same one, it's fine.
Yeah,
Zumi Musk IG, Zumi Musk Intergalactic, is your patron faction.
Okay.
Just so you know.
So the Activist Corporation.
Yeah, activist means kind of how they approach things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's because it's their attitude. So I kind of go over this in the book on like page 33, but an activist is trying to change something about the world in a particular way, like they're driving forth. Like Zumi Musk wants it wants the independent peoples of Seoul to be less of every sector, every planet for themselves, and more of a centralized government system. And they kind of hope that's them, of course.
And
or
then
at least that they control
criminal, how does that work out?
Criminal means that they basically defy law and authority in how they do their things. So it's a media organization that basically ignores or breaks the law. And rebellious means they're actually trying to bring down, like, the status quo and the restrictions of the world. So the Marquita Rue don't really care if this sector stays part of the independent peoples of Seoul. They want to have this as a sector, a free sector, and that sort of thing, supposedly. They're also trying to research something to do with these ancient aliens that the players were finding evidence of, but they didn't really know why. You wouldn't necessarily know why. These are just the people you worked with before you became during the war. So you're a free spacer. You're above and beyond local politics in this. This is just part of your history.
Basically what you were doing beforehand, kind of shaping a little bit.
Your background.
Now, would the other players know of your background before you?
That's up to you guys. I don't care.
Okay.
It probably would be on your profile.
Gotcha.
You worked for the Marquita Rue.
All right.
So you couldn't keep it secret, though.
And your outrageous French accent would keep it harder.
All right. Well, I guess I will go with the 8th Avatar. Make it easy.
Yeah, Hacker Bros.
Okay. So for them, that means you get media stuff. So you get training and a specialty in interface.
Okay.
So interface is a communication skill, but mostly involves doing things on the data flow, which so you get training and interface, which you get 2 dice in, and then you can choose comms, which is, talking to people, jamming, communications, that sort of thing. Network defense, which is defending the data flow when you're attacked, and research, which is Google Foo, man.
Gotcha. You get one in those,
specialty,
right?
Yep.
Which one do we not have covered?
Don't worry about that. Just do your guy. You can change these as you play. Every session, you can change one specialty to somewhere else within the same department, and one training to anywhere. You just can't move it out of your expertise.
All right. Go with research.
Okay, next you get training in perception.
Okay.
But you already have expertise in that, so that means you get a specialty in one more perception thing.
Okay.
So just choose one of those.
Cool.
Oh, very even of you. Okay, next is field dynamics, which you already have. So you get one specialty in one of those.
That just makes that easy.
Okay, very even. Excellent. Next, we choose species. So you can also make up a species if you wish. I know that Cyber Wolf, Mr. Leo here, already has decided this. So you are going to be a lattice. So, if you look at this, if you scroll all the way to the side, you'll find the species log, and it'll have a list of all the species. So Leo here chose to be a lattice. So he is large, slim, with 5 limbs, 2 manipulators, calcified cutis, feathers, nitrogen, ammonia, breather, monomorphic, asexual, and all that. So that's all done. So the next thing you need to do is choose your augmentations that you already get for being a lattice. So a lattice have flyer. So if you look on the sheet under traits, under functional, you'll see flyer. So choose that. Did you find augmentation and stuff, Leo?
No, I'm having trouble finding it, to be completely honest. Augmentation. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I found it.
Yeah. So just choose flyer.
Yep.
Okay, and then because you're resilient, you just fill in the resilience augment under condition slots next to that. You just click it like that. I did it for you. This gives you an extra condition slot for damage. So you see I'm clicking it here. This is how you do damage, everyone. So it turns into a die. That means you get 1 extra threat die when you have that. So you can actually take 2 of these instead of just 1. Which helps you stay alive. Cool. Okay, so. Dragnado. Derek, man. I keep seeing Dragnado first, so I always say that. Yeah.
Either works.
Oh, you didn't fill out your name of your society or this type. Here. It's gotcha. Media and the 8th avatar. There you go. Cool.
Gotcha. I was looking over here at the species.
Yes. So you have a whole list of species. Oh, by the way, you each do get 1 wartime faction language, and because you are doing interchat, Derek, you have to choose Hindi. You get a sectoral language. So I filled that in for you.
Cool.
Leo, you actually get the greater, I believe, get Skria? Let me double check. Because you have to take the top level ones before you take it. Oh no, you're Articulum of Diomedes, so you get Rigelian. I'll fill that in for you as well. And you just add it like that. There you go. Sorry, I'm trying to go quickly and missing things. Okay, so species. Yes, we have several species already made. So we have the ever popular humans. They're very human. With only 4 limbs and several traits like climber, agile, and this variant has radiation barriers and pathogen filters. Or you can be a Septox, which are desert world-like squid-like builders that carry a shell around on their back. A lattice, which your captain is. Anak, which are like a slug-like species, also with a shell. Or the Yukon, which are like kind of like little tree people. They're tiny. Or you can make up your own.
In the interest of saving time, I will not make up my own.
Okay. And one of these interests you more than others.
I mean, human's always cool, but everyone always picks it, so it's always fun to go with something else.
We have one human, one Alatis, and one Yukon right now, so you can choose whatever you like.
Okay, so we do not have a Septok or an Onarch.
No, our old crew members were Septok and Anak.
Okay.
So you can become the new Septok or Anak in residence if you wish.
Or we could have multiple space angels.
Or you can have you can have a human. I mean, whatever you want.
Yeah, no. Multiple space angels is cool and all, but you know what? I think I'm gonna go with the one that doesn't think they're above it all.
Ooh.
Okay, what species is that?
There are two of those.
Then we actually have a bit of an issue with a bunch of that right now. The Anak are actually come from are also dominating a hegemony of one of the major societies, and they're the only ones who are considered a dominant species in that entire society. So
I will go with the Septok.
Cool.
Because that's what it rolled.
Ah, you rolled.
Cool. So I'm going to cut and paste that for you, so you don't have to figure out how to spell Septok. There you go. Okay, so from this, you'll see all the info is recorded there. So just choose size, medium, and then go through all of those stats.
Mm-hmm. Limbs. All the limbs.
Yes, you have 8 limbs.
Man, you see, I should have been a mechanic.
8 manipulators.
Let's see.
Respiration is carbon dioxide and oxygen. So Septoks and humans get along breathing quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're doing one side. No wonder you're skipping around so much. Cool. Okay, and then build is slim.
Slim. Manipulators 8. You want 8 tentacles or just 8?
You can just 8's fine.
Alright. So.
You can put 8 tentacles if you want, so you can remember.
Cool. Male and female.
Yes, you should choose one of those. And then young is 1d6. There you go. Okay, so the last thing you have to do is you go down to your augmentations, and you're going to choose pressure shell, and pressure shell is a type of armor, so go down to the 3 armors and choose pressure shell.
Okay, and you can't put tentacles in the 8 where it says manipulators.
Oh, probably not. The sheet is not as good as the paper sheets.
So, where was this other thing you were wanting to go down to?
Okay, go down to below your tools. You'll see augmentation, and then you get to choose 2 types of armor and 2 types of feature traits. So when you're making up a species, you get 6 points, and something like flyer or something functional like that gives you an ability that others don't have is worth 3 points, while something like climber, which most things can do but might not be good at, cost 2 points, and then the armors cost 1 point because they're very, very specific.
So it says under his traits that he has pressure shell, desert protection, climber, and fast.
Yeah.
Those just given?
Yeah, so you'll get them right here. So you just pull down on the traits and choose climber, then fast, and then down in the armor section below those, you'll choose pressure shell and desert protection. Here, I'll show you.
There it is. And
Like there. And then below that, choose desert protection. Because you're like a... Are you finding it?
I see pressure shell.
Yeah,
and
I
then
chose that. And then below that, in the pull down, you should be able to find desert protection.
I see pathogen filter, plasma, and
It's
radiation.
at the very bottom.
At the very bottom.
I don't... At the very bottom of the pull down list is desert protection. Here, I'll choose it for you. There, good.
Oh, and that one. Sorry. I was over here in the Ava suit.
Yes. Yes, that's your EVA suit, and you all get that, and we'll discuss that during play. Okay,
Gotcha.
cool. There, now you all have species. Yay, you're almost people. Cool. Next, you have to choose your background. You're like, what? I already chose that. No, you didn't. What you chose is who you lived with. What did you do there, though? So, you could have been a citizen. You're like a person who does like a job. Or you could have been a damage controller, which means you fix things. Maybe you were a fireman. Maybe you were like a high pressure, like window plugger. Maybe you actually worked on a starship running around fixing things when they got broken. Drifter? Maybe you were a space bum. Literally living on a drift.
I kind of took damage control.
Cool.
Metaphorical, like.
So we can do you. So are you liking that way? So there's a whole list there. Gravitronic technician is most of the sciencey ones from there. These have different names from your stations on purpose because they're not really the same thing. They're slightly different. Gravitronic technician includes if you're good with shields or you did you worked on 0-point technology during the war. Harvesters like farmers and miners and that sort of thing. Holographers, were you behind a camera shooting holograms like a news agency or fiction or something? Leaders, were you a leader of some sort? A general or a politician? Merchant, you selling stuff in whatever way. Naval officer, you were actually on a ship as an officer or crew member of some sort. Peacekeeper, were you a cop or military police or any of those sorts of things? Scholar, you studied things, some sort of study. You can just come up with what it is. Scientist, you did science. Soldier, shot stuff. Streamer, you were a personality on the data flow or on the news or something like that. And finally, worker, you had a job and you were a worker. You weren't necessarily a full citizen with a nice job. You were in a factory or something like that. So, Leo, you said you had a choice.
No, I was just saying that for damage controller, when you said that initially, I was thinking of the more metaphorical, like more political, like I'll handle this damage to your image. That's all I was commenting. I'm thinking probably peacekeeper.
Oh, you were a cop. Interesting. Cool. Okay, so for that, you can see you get one trained skill in athletics, which I think you already have.
I do.
And the specialty in that. So you get another specialty in athletics.
Let's go. Let's get parkour as well.
Okay. Then you get one in politic. You get trained in politic and the specialty in politic.
Okay. Gather information.
Yeah. So administration, marketing includes giving speeches, while administration includes like bureaucracy and record analysis and all that sort of thing. Okay, and then finally you get fitness. So you get trained in that and one of those specialties. So martial arts is punchy, kicky. Endurance is really good if you're walking across the surface of a barren planet and have to make lots of those rolls because you use your shields, but you have to use your endurance, not your shield mechanics. And strength, if you want to pick something up with your bare hands instead of with a tool for some reason.
I'll go for endurance.
Oakley dokley. Did I say that way too much? We're gonna stop. Okay, so trying to be chipper and fun. Okay, and then you get one tool mod as a I keep losing Peacekeeper. You get either shield or EVA suit. Okay. So, shield, we already talked about that. So you know how that works. EVA suit. You see how you have all these weird fields? These are different types of armor you get. You have to pay for these out of supply. Every time you get one of these, it costs you 1 supply. And then when your armor gets damaged, the supply you have to replace it, which costs you 1 supply. But you can only do it for the ones that are free and open. The ones with the little weird check marks you don't have. So you, as a Peacekeeper, would see the value in an EVA suit and would have upgraded this. So this means if you, say, upgrade the inside, you'd be able to get more pathogen filters and plasma insulation or radiation barriers. You get to choose when you use it in the field. So you just get to decide whether or not you want to upgrade the slots on your suit. Think of it as you have this armored suit, right? Normally you're just wandering around in your ship suit, which can have anything on it. But then when you put this big thing on it, it has 1 set of plating on it and 1 set of stuff in the goo underneath it. But you can expand that to have the goo be more complicated, so it can do 2 things. Or have more plating on the external armor. Do you understand what I said? Because you don't look like it.
Me?
Yeah.
I've been listening.
Yeah. I don't know if you're understanding. So you can choose an upgrade in one of these if you want. That's why I keep talking. Or in your shield. It's up to you.
So I can choose an upgrade for the ship or upgrade for myself?
No. For your EVA suit.
Okay.
Or your shield.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
That's your exterior vehicle, what do you call it, suit? Yeah.
Combat armor?
No. You can get those on the fly. They cost you 1 supply.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to explain before.
Yeah.
The upgrades are these little check marks that I'm checking on and off.
Ah, okay.
Outer shell, if you want combat, outer shell does 3 different things, while the life support gel does 3 different things. So the only reason you care about that is because you aren't choosing that now. You can choose that every day. Whenever you leave the ship, you're going to choose that. But if you want another slot, you can do this. Or you can do this. But if you do this, you can only get pathogen filters, plasma insulation, and radiation barriers in that slot. So you're buying 1 extra slot. You can buy 2 slots.
So I have to decide on that now, which one I want to get out of those 2. Or am I still confused?
Or you can get a shield thing instead.
Yeah, I'll go for outer shell.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so, Derek, what sort of background does your character have? What's
I already
your
picked
member
him.
do? Sorry.
Graviton technician. Then I went with the recruitment and the drive. I didn't quite know what those did, but I just kind of picked them.
Oh, okay. So for your gravitronic technician, you get training in. Did you choose these already? Field dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
So
Field dynamics. Okay.
So you get 1 specialty in that because you already have it trained.
Gotcha.
1 in pulse projection. You get training in that and a specialty in pulse projection.
Training and a specialty.
Okay, away weaponry is like if you use your multi-tool. Artillery is if you use your ship's weapons. And tractor mechanics if you use either, but you're using it as like a tractor beam.
Gotcha.
Okay. Next you get inscription. So you already have that trained, so you get 1 specialty in that. Hack, trace, or code. Tracing is finding people on the data flow. So if you actually need to find the location of a network so you can hack it, you'd be using trace. If you want to find the person in real life, you can also do it that way. So you can like back trace them, figure out where they are.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. And finally, you get to choose 1 mod as well in either your multi-tool or your shield. Your multi-tool is your tractor beam, your utility device, and your weapon. So if you're going to like patch the hole in your launch, you'd be using utility manipulator on it, that sort of thing.
Got it.
And you know all about your shield. That wasn't a suggestion. That was just an explanation.
It works though.
Okay, cool. So, as some of us are ahead, this does not do anything, doesn't change your character, but you can choose your type of recruitment. How were you recruited? You were mentored into this situation. Okay, this is a big opportunity for you. What about you, Leo?
I think coerced.
You were forced onto the crew and made the captain. Interesting.
Oh, sorry. I thought this was for our background. Yeah, what was I saying?
To be fair, my character was coerced into doing this whole thing. So
Okay.
I just think it'd be interesting. It's like, haha, you have to do this, and we're gonna make you a captain.
we're gonna make you captain.
Okay. He was happy as a cop, but he got too good at being a cop. So they were like, now you got to be the captain of their ship, but he doesn't want to be the captain of the ship.
Are we doing sci-fi hot fuzz right now? Because I'm
Yeah,
all for
yeah.
it.
Oh no, it's going sideways. Okay, you can be cursed if you want. You could also be just professional, mentor, devoted, and indentured.
I'll be professional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, your drive. Now, drive matters because remember I told you get that charge and stuff, and then you can use that to use your mods and things like that. Well, at the beginning of every game, or beginning of every session, if last session you used your drive, like you pursued it and took a risk for it, usually making a roll, then you get one charge. So it's part of the way you get charge is with your drive. This is kind of why you're in space, why you're doing things. If you don't use it on a session, you can change it. So there's a big list here, as you can all read on page 41. Starting with benevolence through bloodthirst all the way to vengeance, as one is wont to do. So this is kind of like why you're in space. So that means if you say chose camaraderie, as you just suggested, and you took a big risk to save your crew, or to help your crew, or to do something for another crew member, then you will definitely get a charge on the next session.
Okay.
What about you, Derek?
I picked honor.
Honor. Excellent. Okay, so we're almost done. Thank you all for staying so long. Okay, so this is the part that involves a little bit of math, just a bit. You need to count how many expertise skills you have to make sure you did it right. So I see 2. And then you should have 10 trained skills. You probably don't, because you chose the same trained skill more than once, because that's how it works. So count how many you have, and then remember how many you need, because you're going to get to choose them.
6.
You only have
4.
6? You only have 4 trained skills? 1, 2, 3.
Oh no, I have 8.
Yeah, mine hit. I got perception and field dynamics multiple times.
Yes.
I'm seeing 6 for Leo.
Was I right at 6? I thought I was right.
1, 2, 3. Whoa.
I don't know.
How did you do that, man?
I mean, I
No,
kept going
I'm
back
looking
into-
at
Oh.
Derek's. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You did tell him to do sensor analyst and shield technician, and that just happened to be how it goes, I guess.
Okay, cool.
I just broke it. I'm that's what we're trying to do, right?
Okay, next is count your specialties. I've just never seen anybody get that focused. Okay, so next, count your specialties. Now, this really tells if you did anything really actually wrong. You should have 12 of these. If you did something wrong...
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Hey, there we go.
Look at it, did it right. What about you, Leo?
What are you asking me? Sorry. I'm getting loopy.
Specialties. Specialties. Do you have 12 of them?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I have 12.
Look at this, we did everything right. Awesome. Okay, so now we need to review your tools. This is slightly harder. So you should have 2 tools for your first department, 2 tools for your station, for your second station and 1 background tool. So
5 tools.
I have
a
5.
total of 5, yes.
Sensor.
It's actually a total of 8 because your capacity is 3 automatically. So I've seen somebody get 2 points in capacity and then they get confused why they don't have enough points, but then they totally do.
Yeah,
So
I have 3
see
in
4
capacity.
for you.
I believe I have 5.
Leo.
Yeah, I have.
Where's your 5th?
Sensory
Oh,
server.
sorry. I thought I was counting
Only
3
manipulator.
capacity as well. No, yeah, I only have 4 then.
So you're missing 1. Which one did you? You didn't take 1 for your background. So
Okay.
what was your background again?
Peacekeepers.
Yeah.
Oh, you did. It's on your EVA suit. It's those ones you have a hard time finding. There you go. Good.
Okay.
Okay, so you have all those. So that's the review part. And now the customization part. So if you don't have 10 trained skills, mark additional trained skills wherever you want until you have 10. And then add 2 more. So you should have 12 in total.
Okay. Are you counting the expertise as trained, or that's different?
How did I count this anyways? Let me double check. Because I was just wondering about that myself. Yeah, I believe it is different.
Okay, so I should have 10 trained skills.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's 2
15.
Yeah. It's 2 expertise, 10 trained, and you got 3 that are untrained.
Yeah.
That's how it is on my.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so they're just like there's 3 that you just don't have trained, and they kind of bounce around as you train and untrain them. As a warning, if you do what Audie did and don't put much training or specialties in, or don't put in much specialties in one group, you can never really raise those because you can only move specialties. We'll talk about that after. Sorry, do your training first. I jumped ahead again.
I've done it.
Okay.
Okay, that's one done. Leo, you're done, right?
Yep.
Derek, are you done?
Almost. One more. Good.
Okay, cool. So, skill specialties. You get to mark 8 more to a total of 20. Ensure you have at least 1 specialty per department. And making your departments really uneven, because when at the beginning of every session you can move 1 trained around wherever you want to model ordinary learning, and you can move 1 specialty within its department. So if your comms, as an example, Derek, has like only 1 specialty in it, then you can just move that 1 point around, but you'll never be able to put another point over there until you upgrade your character.
Gotcha.
How many specialties should we have?
20 in total.
And you can put them anywhere.
Anywhere you want.
So could I add one of my expertise,
Yeah.
for example?
Yep.
No snake.
Leo, by the way, I noticed you only have 2 specialties in all of engineering.
Yeah, I'm alright with that. I'm just going to be inept when it comes to engineering.
That includes shooting and shields.
Yep.
It's fine.
I'm just going to be bossing everyone else around.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Lua's character will do no combat, and we'll just let the other 2. Obvious.
Okay, cool. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm going to finally get to do Rebirth, which is great. Oh, when you die in this, you kind of form a cocoon around yourself
right.
and get born again. It's pretty cool. It's called Rebirth. Okay, so finally, after you do all your specialties, you're going to also do some stuff for tools. You're going to get to add 5 new mods.
Okay.
So
I'm done.
are you both done your specialties?
I'm done.
I believe I'm done. One.
Okay, so I'll count those while you guys go and choose 5 more mods. The total, including your reactor capacity, should be 13 when you're done.
I need one more.
What does the disruptor targeter do again?
Helps you shoot things.
Okay.
Or stab things.
1, 2, 3.
Or tractor beam. Or no,
Yeah.
it
How many should I have?
does not help you tractor beam things, though. But it does help you shoot things.
How many should I have? No.
In total,
Yeah.
13, including the 3 capacity.
Okay.
Okay, so 5 more.
1, 2, 3. You have one too many because
Yeah,
you
I
won't
know.
forget your EVA suit. Because you have 1 point in your EVA suit. You can also,
Yeah.
by the way, Derek, take points in your EVA suit. There's 2 slots in it that you can take.
Oh, I got one too many now.
Yeah. You did.
Okay.
Let me count you again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
So in the
14
EVA
with
suit-
your EVA suit.
So I should remove one, yeah.
Yeah. Like from Charge Pulse, maybe, or from whatever you want. Med Tool. You just have to go on the other thing if you don't.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Sorry, you were asking, Derek?
In the AVA suit, which drop down do I pick from?
You're not doing drop downs, you do that during play. It's the
Oh,
little
you
check marks. See the little check marks? Here, I'll check them on and off. Are you watching?
Okay.
That would mean you have a fully upgraded EVA suit. That means you have a basic EVA suit. This means you
Gotcha.
have one thing in it. But they take different things. So the life support gel protects you from different things than your outer shell. Combat, you'd be protected by your outer shell. So what happens is pretty much you took 2 in that. Wow. 1, 2.
Hey, my guy is not very sociable and apparently not physically fit. I guess I have to have some kind of protection.
Oh yeah. You guys are gonna be in the poorhouse, man. This is great. I don't even have to direct money out of you. Okay, cool. So I filled in your reactor charge of 3 for you. And you also get. Okay, so when we went over languages, you should have gotten a language for your patron, which is interchat. One for your wartime faction, which I believe for you was Hindi, and for you was Rugelian, and one for your species, which I don't think we did. I think we skimmed it.
Nope.
Also, my language relevant is Inats.
Oh, that's a mistake. There. Okay, so you need a species language, so let's look and see what those should be. So for Septox, that is... Septox
Predatory
are...
energetic.
Oh, we just have to... Sorry, we have to see which society they're from. So Septox are from... You might have a choice. It's where they're dominant normally. So it should be Skria for your Septox there, Derek. And your Alatis should also be Skria. So that's in your prevalent languages. You get Skria. So press add. And then pull down on the Skria. Are you seeing that, Leo?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking to Derek. My bad.
You guys
We're
both
both.
have the same language.
Okay, yeah,
There you
good.
go. Lots of Skria being spoken in the house now. Cool.
What even is that language?
It's a language from another quadrant of space.
Ah.
It's the language of the Crimson Imperium.
It's so that we can talk about that guy that wants to be captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, none of us can actually speak to him. This is gonna be a fun time.
No, you all have interchat. You're all good.
Oh, we all have interchat. Okay, then that's fine.
As you get one
That's
for your
all
patron faction, so you all get the same language automatically.
Okay, good.
So as a group, you choose one crew member as captain or acting captain. So I will record your name when you come up with it to the contingency type Corvette sheet, to the ship, and the one thing you get is you get your patron commissioner as a contact, and you get to increase your association by 1. So, oh, that's weird. Okay, so we're adding one everybody gets an association with their patron faction.
Oh, I do not have that yet.
No, I don't think you do.
No,
so
I have. So I should just add that now, is what you're telling me?
Yes, add that now.
Okay. And
I can't populate from other sheets using the base version of the game. So I added that to yours, Derek.
Gotcha.
And I will add it to Leo's. And Leo gets it at 2 because he's the captain. And you get it at 1 there.
Yeah.
Derek. Also, Leo, you get the name of... I just have to look up the name of your patron commissioner, and you get them as a contact. When you're dealing with your contacts... so your associations are like social tools. So you're going to use them a lot, especially anybody with social skills, to do all sorts of things. So if you're dealing with someone who's also Septox or someone who's also a Lattice, you have something in common, and so you can use a charge to use that. If you're dealing with somebody from Zumi Musk IG, you're going to be able to use 2 dice, Leo, while Derek can only use 1 die when he spends the charge. And because you have the patron commissioner Fu Ying, as your as a contact, you will get them as a 1 second business friend rival. Oh, I should add one to this. We'll put in his business. And then we need to put Zumi Musk IG here. So the way you get associations and stuff is to add more contacts. So if you have a contact that's super important to the plot, or important, like super significant to the galaxy, like the general of the opposing army or something, you're going to get 3 dice in the association related to that. But if you just meet some people and you're like, hey, those are those guys that are kind of like us, and you shoot at them and stuff, you're only going to get 1 die in it. But if you have a contact at all, you'll probably get 2 dice in it. That's how it works. I see confusion.
Oh no, my guy's very antisocial apparently, so I don't see him doing very well in that.
Uh-oh.
I feel like that's my main thing now.
Okay, so finally, we're almost done. Everybody's running out of gas. You will all start with... The 2 of you start with 6 debt under your retirement section. Now, retirement doesn't necessarily matter right now until the very end of the game.
I'm too young.
Okay, so between... The game is set up into contracts, and at the beginning of every session, you're going to do contract negotiates at the beginning of the next session. And so everybody does these different things, and we write a contract, and it determines what your plans are, what you're trying to do. And then you go off and do those things, and if you succeed on those, you get cargo, such as complex materials that you can use to upgrade yourself, or trade materials, or that sort of thing. So, in between contracts, you kind of have like a downtime period, which is called the retirement project. And what you're trying to do with that is build up a reserve, which you use to buy shares. And once your shares are greater than your debt, then you might start having a good retirement, and you can actually retire your character. Until then, if you say retired now, you went, I don't want to play this character. That character becomes a bum. Anyways. We'll explain that all a little bit more later. So the faction under your retirement list and your retirement plan, you don't fill that out until you do a retirement project, which you haven't done because you're brand new characters and you don't think about that sort of thing yet. So finally, you need an alias. An alias is the name of your character whatever that may be. So it's at the top of your sheet. I noticed that Derek put in his player name in there. So put your player name under player and whatever we're going to call your character underneath alias. And then I will change the name of your sheets to that. And then we're done. Characters are made.
Listo.
So we got Captain Zek.
Zeke.
There you go. And what's your name going to be, Derek?
Oh, I thought I put it there.
You don't have. You just have your online name.
Oh. I thought that would work.
Do you want to be called that? It's a little personal, but you can if you want.
Sure.
See, this can be like anything. Like in examples, I have a character named Kingfisher, and another one named Kingfisher Powell, and another one named Napoleon 64. So like, and you can change these as you play too. But most players can't.
My character's Sequoia, but like it's like in like hacker lingo, so it's like with fives and stuff like that. So don't worry about it. Hacker alphabet. That's the word.
Actually, I've changed my name.
Oh, okay.
There. Make it something easy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
This is going badly already. I think it's going to be meeting airlocks a lot. Okay, Squidward. I don't think you want a name that people are going to laugh at instantly, but well, it's up to you.
Hey, with the skills training that he has and how he doesn't have very many social skills, I think it actually fits.
Oh, we lost.
At least no one will be confused between the four of us. It'll be very obvious who's who.
You know, I'm probably going to get like bumped by trademark infringement if we use that name. So
okay,
maybe
I'll
something else might be a good idea.
Let's see.
You could just go something like Squillix.
Kraken. Just do that. I am the Kraken.
Oh god.
I don't know. That was the first like squid-like thing I think of. It's like Cthulhu, Krakens, you know, all that type of thing.
I've never met many humans called Hairless Monkey.
You never know.
Okay. And so once he comes up with his name, we're pretty much done. Any questions? I'm sure you guys are kind of confused, but you'll figure it out on the fly. Leo?
I'm happy to just wing it.
Okay, cool. Thanks for hanging around. Oh, Craig. See, that's a good name.
Yep.
That almost sounds like a name. It definitely sounds like a space name. Cool. Okay, so our crew is now Audie, Craig, Liam Carter, and Sequoia. Sounds good. Okay, crew of the FRS Auspicious. I'm sure your human crew member will be aghast when he meets you. But he's a dirty human, so no one cares.
Yeah, it's his fault. I mean, I don't know what he expected. We live in a freaking multi-species society. Like, and all the humans, man.
Exactly. Okay, I will see you guys next week. Is everybody good at starting at 6?
Yep.
Yes, I already talked with my job, so
Okay.
it won't happen again.
Cool. No worries. Okay. See y'all then.
Yeah, I usually don't have any time infringements on 2 a.m. Sorry.
No?
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a ditzy captain for the 2 a.m. Maybe you should get some chips and a curry dip or something next time.
Yeah.
He
Are
can
you
just
in
play it
London?
as the drunk captain. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Totally fine.
Either be like really tired and acting really drunk, or like be really hopped up my name drinks, be like, "Hey guys, yeah, let's do this, woo!"
Captain's off his beds again, guy.
Yes,
I
so-
thought that my species was supposed to be the energetic ones.
Who knows?
Well, my species is supposed to be the calm, like collected ones, but then
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the stereotype.
my species is stereotyped as super energetic, and oh boy, will you see that.
It's gonna be good. Okay, so we'll be starting off next week. I'm gonna use all this information I've been given to run the Cold War phase in between. And one other thing, just so you know, your ship has an AI that acts as its operating system. His name is Dell. He's a pretty much a young, happy boy. And there you go. You can change that if you wish, as you outnumber the old crew members. So,
So we can hack it and change him.
you can just change it. You're gonna have access
Look,
to it.
we can hack the system, we can hack the planet, like, we can do whatever we want.
Yep. So if you can think on that, especially captains and programmers and people who care about what the OS looks like, talks like, and acts like.
yeah, I don't think Liam would really care, to be honest. I think he'd be alright with it.
I think Sequoia would talk to the AI first, because, you know, gotta know how that AI feels about this. Can't just be
Yes,
going
yes.
around,
Well, they're not-
being,
they're not-
like, changing you.
So fonts, you know, they're just OS.
Hey.
It's like talking to Siri. How do you feel about being called Siri?
I would still ask that. I'm not
That
gonna
is
not.
totally fine. Your people are a little bit about finding that whole sort of crazy sentient OS, sentient AI thing.
Yeah, we are.
Yep. Which, I mean, a bunch of people probably died from that before, so it's good. Good times. Okay, guys, thanks for coming. Hope you had a good evening. I'll see you next time.
See you.
Adios.